If Palworld is an indiscriminate gruel of other games, Pokemon is the emergency crackers off the Titanic. They're just as bland as they were 100 years ago. I like this channel to be focused on the smaller indies, but I've got a couple thoughts about Palworld I wanted to jot down. I think they'll remain relevant to our overall gaming convo together, long after the hype for this game has died down. I don't really think that'll take long, to be honest. Gamer attention spans are shorter than my little rat dick. Palworld released a few days ago and has quickly blown up the charts. It's Steam's second most played game ever, behind only PUBG. It's done equally gangbusters on Game Pass. I'd tell you a fun fact about the Epic Store, but I'm trying to keep this script focused on things people actually care about. But every time a Monster Collector game comes out, people ask two things. The first is this the Pokemon killer? These clickbait titles need to come clean and admit the only game that can kill Pokemon is Pokemon, and it's doing a good enough job on its own with all its record-breaking sales. Is This the X-Killer is a symptom of being the biggest game in your particular genre, be Halo in the early noughties, or Stardew Valley, or a Souls game now. I'm going on a little bit of a limb here, but if Palworld is going to kill any game, I don't think it will. It would have to be Ark Survival Evolved. The remake, Ark Survival Ascended, dropped late last year in a very actual early access state, if you know what I mean. They can't afford to lose players like Pokemon can, and two of the three largest Ark YouTubers I could find all had Palworld videos up, hitching that wagon just in case Palworld isn't a flash in the pan. The second question is this a Pokemon clone? It doesn't take a spot the difference scientist to see where Palworld's monsters' inspirations come from. Every monster collector, no matter how different it is, lives in Pokemon's shadow, whether they're trying to steal that shadow or not. But let's be completely honest for a second. Game Freak would not and could not make Palworld. If pushed, they could almost make a Pokemon game. I think this alone is enough to clear Palworld of any wrongdoing. Games are a constantly iterative medium. Every game in development is in dialogue with every other game that has already been released. We never know where cross-pollination will occur, except in the case of Palworld, of course, which was born in the Bermuda Triangle of most popular genres mashed together. There's something about it which feels ineffably cynical in its calculations. It's like the Expendables of video games. It's the sort of game that EA would make if they had the balls. Palworld is brazen in its inspiration. Right out the gate you wake up to get a Sheikah slate, complete with blue doom text. Weirdly though, Pocket Pair, the developers, say it's taken zero inspo from Pokemon and fails to mention Zelda entirely, instead citing Ark, Minecraft, RimWorld, Rust, GTA, and Dragon Quest as their inspo. But deciding when a game is inspired by and when it is a soulless derivative is an almost entirely emotional journey. It's a bit like porn. You know it when you see it. Yeah, I mean, you know the difference between like an artful nude and like, oh, that's actually just straight porn. But none of that matters at all if you're having a genuinely good time, right? And lots of people seem to be. But at this point in the online dialogue, having this conversation about Palworld can sort of look like you're being a sore loser about its success. So perhaps it's something best left for when the hype has died down. But when discussing this in my bro chat, Monkey summarized his thoughts on this whole thing nicely. And he said, it's whether they've brought vitality and soul to it, and whether the elements are there for a reason that contributes to the quality of the game. To tastefully rephrase his statement, is the Pokemon element of Palworld a pair of fake tits bolted to a skeleton to add sex appeal to the bones, or are they attached to a breast cancer survivor looking to regain their dignity? On balance, I'm gonna have to say it's the latter, despite the game's current early access jank, which is surprisingly less than I thought there would be. While the world itself can be barren, this game has brought new and interesting ways to interact with your Palmons that Pokemon has so desperately needed for years now, even if that interaction is slavery and cannibalism. I'm going to refrain from bothering to give any sort of recommendation for Palworld because at this point everyone with a Steam account and who gives a shit already owns it. So that's where this video ends. I need a better exit than that. I need like a catchphrase. So what do you guys think about Palworld? Tell me in the comments below what you thought about Palworld.